Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to High Top Sports Oregon. The Ducks do it again. We got Derek the Duck Selmy here on this beautiful 4th of July day. It is fireworks on and off the field all around us going on right now as the number one wide receiver, Mr. Moore, has committed to the Ducks. The Duck, is this the fourth, fifth star? I'm losing count at this point. I'm running out of fingers. What are we, number four? I think McNutt is a 5-star, which he's predicted.
Yeah,
Maybe that's what I'm
what
adding.
are we at now? Yeah, I don't know. I think we're sitting at something like 4 more 5 stars Oregon's trending for, so whatever Dan Lanning's got going on over the last month, I absolutely love it. We need to keep that juice rolling into the season. If he can bring this little mojo he's got going on in the recruiting trail into the season, man, watch out for the Ducks. It's gonna be a scary sight. But yeah, Dakorien Moore, obviously, this is one we have been tracking for a very long time. Oregon's been a name who's been mentioned throughout his recruitment the entire way. Obviously, was an LSU commit when they had the number one running back, quarterback, and receiver in the nation committed at one point. Went on that little insane run there. Obviously, decommitted. He's been, smokescreen to Texas a whole lot over the last couple of weeks there. They blew him away with all their Lamborghinis on site or whatever they got going on.
Sure.
Yeah, but Uncle, ask the crew. Uncle Phil must have stepped in and dropped about 10 mil to land Dakorien Moore here. Yeah, you just ask the crew; they'll tell you. I'm sure everybody's got the numbers on site. Boy, yeah, absolutely massive pickup for Dan Lanning and the Ducks. It's kind of funny. We were just talking about the number one class and what would need to happen, and this was a massive piece toward that number one class. So, major win for Dan Lanning and the Ducks. Get a playmaker that can see the field right away as a true freshman. Really starting to stack classes here. Dan Lanning's brought in a lot of playmakers to the university right now. There's a lot of 4 and 5 star playmakers up and down the depth chart right now. So gotta like what Dan's doing up in Eugene right now.
Here's what makes this unreal. We're gonna do the calculator in just a moment. What he does, and then again, McNutt, we talked about the other day. He's been crystal ball to Oregon. Just those two guys. You add Moore and then McNutt, you're sitting at 275, I believe is what the calculator. 277. You know where that puts the Ducks at 277? I'll tell you where it puts the Ducks. Derek Duck. Put you right above Georgia, who's at 270 right now with 17 commits. You're going to be at 277 with 16 commits. Just go ahead and sit on that a little bit. And you're sitting behind, of course, Ohio State and Bama at 285 and 304, but they've got 22 commits. They've got 8 more commits than the Ducks do. And the Ducks aren't done. You are primed to land up at a number one class. And look at this. LSU obviously was huge. As soon as he decommitted, we talked to our Texas channel. They felt great about Dakorien Moore. That was where he was going to be going, was Texas. But like you said, Uncle Phil comes in. This is what scares me about the Ducks. Them leave. We've talked about it every time now. Them leaving the Pac-12, going to the Big Ten, and this is why I don't think Lanning is going anywhere. Is it the SEC? No, but it's damn near there. And if you can go make the Big Ten be competitive, which it seems that it's headed in that direction, and in this NIL era, where the Ducks have always had the cheddar and they're able to just throw it down legally, it's a dangerous place to be in. It is for the rest of us. It is a dangerous place to be. I was thinking about this too with Cristobal, because everyone gives Cristobal credit for the team, which is nonsense. He went from the Ducks of Uncle Phil backing him down to Miami with Ruiz. The guy just follows the money. I don't know if he truly knows what he's doing or if he's just been fortunate enough to have 2 great backings for his last 2 coaching jobs. But we all know he can't get it done on the football field. That's besides the point. I'm not going to continue to take shots. But let's go over again real quick. Just Mr. Moore here plays at Duncanville, right? And here's what makes this even more exciting for Ducks. Obviously, this goes into their rating of being the number one wide receiver, but they play against some elite talent, against the McKinneys, all these big-time schools in Texas, and he's out here just obliterating these kids. It's not like sometimes you'll get a good 4-star, low 5-star, and a lot of it is just like they look at men amongst boys because of the talent they're going up against. This isn't the case for Mr. Moore here. He's going up against the dogs, the Ducks, and leveling them.
Yeah, I think about like Gatlin Bear, the commit last cycle out of Idaho, put up insane numbers. And then you look at the competition he's playing Idaho competition. Then you talk about a guy going in Duncanville, Texas, putting up damn near 1,500 yards, 18 touchdowns for 21 yards per catch. I mean, you were playing some of the best competition down there week in and week out. So it's pretty incredible what he's able to do on a weekly basis. And, you know, this is only as a junior. Crazy to see what he's going to be able to do his senior year. But he's just a big play waiting to happen. He does quite literally everything well, as you would expect from the number one wide receiver recruit in the nation. Creates separation, adjusts on the fly extremely well. Obviously, can take the top off the defense with the big play ability he's got there. Moves very well with the ball in his hands, kind of like a track star with the ball in his hands. So he's a he's a home run threat every time that they snap the ball. These are absolutely the caliber of players that you need to start bringing in if you're looking to start competing for national championships. And massive, massive win for Dan Lanning.
Here's where this gets a little more scary. Ooh, and then we'll wrap this thing up. I put in one more name for this crystal ball for the calculator because I love the calculator. So obviously Dallas Wilson's committed, Dakorien Moore's committed, Trey McNutt's been crystal balled. That's a third 5-star. The addition of Dakorien Moore, another 5-star. That's 4 or 5-star. And DJ Pickett here, last minute trend for the Ducks. That's 5 5-stars. This class, hear me out, is trending, I believe, to be the highest recruiting class of all time, which goes back to Texas A&M just a few years ago, which Evan Stewart was a part of, or around that era, which you guys now have Evan Stewart as well too. So it feels it does it feel crazy? Yes, because it is. The one difference I would say is when Texas A&M did it, it didn't feel right. It didn't feel organic. It just because like
Mm.
A&M just kind of did it out of nowhere. This has been building up to this, and the production on the field is there. We understand why it's happening. It's not like this to say that they're doing it with NIL. This isn't a shot. You are finally in a place where the backing of Phil Knight and Nike is paying dividends, and you have a fantastic coach that can recruit. It's the perfect combination for the Ducks. It's a deadly combination, and that's where you guys are at right now. So 5 5-stars with more names that we're going to talk about later on this week that could be going to Oregon. With if I put DJ Pickett in, that puts you guys at 17 commits. 17 commits
Mhm.
with a total score of 288. That would put you in front of Bama, who has 285 with 20 commits. So 3 less commits than them, and you're above them by 3 points.
Well, if we're gonna do this thing, we might as well do it big. You know, Oregon picked up a crystal ball for 5-star linebacker and safety Jonah Williams out of the Texas too, from the man Steve Wiltfong yesterday as well. We might as well throw that one more 5-star in there. You know, really just see what we could have rolling. Yeah, there
Two,
we go. That's a smile I like to see.
297, 6 5-stars. Unbelievable with 18 commits. 304 is Ohio State's, but they have 22 commits. So you're less than 10 points away. You add another 4-star in there. You're above them at 19 commits. And again, that A&M class. Let me go take a look at that A&M class just for a quick second because now I'm interested. I think it was 2022. Man, I'm good. They are with 30 commits. They had an average rating of 95 with 8 5-stars and 333 points. Insane. That might be tough.
Oh,
That might be
yeah.
tough.
I don't know if we're quite on
But
that
you're at
level yet.
6.
That
You're at 6 5-stars, so I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You need 2 more. That's
that's
uncomfortable.
true.
That's an uncomfortable
That's
place
true,
to
and,
be
like,
in.
you know, you brought up a really good point about it kinda feeling a little more organic. You know, I remember during that Texas A&M run, it was absolutely insane. It seemed like every other week, they're like, "Oh, number 1 linebacker, number 1 edge, number 1 interior lineman," you know, X, Y, and Z heading out to A&M. Oregon's kinda taking that slow burn approach over the last, you know, couple months, continues to go into the later cycle as we head into the fall. So it's really exciting, and you got to think if Dan Lanning is able to translate this success to the field, and Oregon starts becoming successful on a national scale, what this is going to mean for recruiting in the future. You know, we're flirting with some pretty dangerous territory for the competition of Dan Lanning and the Ducks on the recruiting edge.
So, look, just real quick, like you said, they had the number 1 defensive lineman in Walter Nolan, who's no longer there, mind you. The number 1 wide receiver in Evan Stewart, who's no longer there. The number 3 defensive lineman, Shamar Stewart, he's there. The number 4 defensive lineman, he's still there. The number 6 defensive lineman, LT Overton, he is no longer there. And then, of course, their quarterback, Connor Wingman, who's expected to be the guy this year, he is still there. That was there. Oh, and then Chris Marshall, the 3rd wide receiver. Let's see if he's still there. He is not. He's at Boise State. So that class fell apart uh, horribly, horribly. And even Anthony Lucas, another defensive lineman, he's no longer there. He's at USC, and he was a 5-star. So they kept 3 of the 8 5-stars. So they didn't even get to see that production from that class. I don't think the Ducks will be in that same category, in my opinion. But boy, oh boy, what a 4th of July. What a day for fireworks, man. Great stuff. Look, guys, we're at 650 subs. Channel is exploding. And if you're not fired up to smash that sub button right now, I don't know what you're doing. Okay. We got to be at 700 by Sunday. I don't, there's no, that's all we need. I can't go any further. We need that. It's a must.
Oh, absolutely. I appreciate the support so far, but we got to keep her cooking. We're well on pace to hit that 1,000 subs by time week 1 kicks off. Um, but 700 by Sunday, I think that's feasible. The good people, they got our back.
I think we can get there. Look, if we get right there by Sunday, I think the 1,000 by the season, it's in grasp, boys and girls. So be sure to smash it. We'll see you guys next time. Keep the eyes and ears peeled. Keep the bell turned on in case a new video drops. In case another 5-star decides to go, you know what? The Oregon thing looks cool. Let's get it done. I'm Shelton. That's Derek Doug. We'll see you next time, boys. Peace.